Do-do-do-do-do-do. Holy crap! What's that? Let's find out.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare.
So last September I was at Prepper Camp and I met this guy. I'm not going to say his name because he's the owner of the biggest company for solar ovens on the planet. In fact, he's actually made a video up here. I'm just going to go ahead and let it play for a minute. All right, guys. Biggest solar oven on the planet. This is the death ray. We're going to add one more mirror and start shooting down spy satellites. This thing is so big I can park a car in it. All right, so you can see they make some pretty kick-ass solar ovens, and I really like the company. And as a gift for me making videos for him, we became buds, you know. And he sent me a solar oven for free. Love you, man. I appreciate it. We're gonna put it to good use. But now for the prepperdom. First of all, if you like what I'm doing, hit that like and subscribe button. It does help. Second of all, just because it's winter doesn't mean you can't use a solar oven. Also, if you're in an urban environment, it doesn't mean you can't. As long as you can find the sun in the south, you can use a solar oven. Guy just got me making a video. It's kind of hilarious. Anyway, use those solar ovens. You can cook some food. I'm going to fire up a roast. Before I do that, I'm going to run the solar oven for a day, see what my max temperature is going to be, do a little bit of the math, and kind of figure out if I can pull this off, because I love a roast in a solar oven. It tastes so good. All right, guys, so let's go ahead and run through the pre-staging, the unpacking, the unloading, and the setup, and then we'll go and cook something the next day, all here in one video. This video may be lengthy, but it will come to an awesome conclusion. All right, guys, let's get into it. So this box came in about a week ago, and the weather was just not great at all. I'm going to go ahead and move this microphone away from there. We go a little bit better. It's not so crazy. And so basically I'm opening the box up. Oh, this is all falling apart right here. It's very surprising. But it basically comes as one unit. There's a couple little knickknacks inside, but not that bad. You can see it's very well constructed. This was actually the plate, or not plate, but the I guess, for lack of better words, a grill that you put the food on. Then these boxes were just used for spacers. I'm not exactly sure why they did it this way. It probably has something to do with the cost of packaging. And then there's lots of little pieces of tape. Those are the stakes that you use to stake down the back legs. That I'm untaping right now, so that it will actually stay in place, which makes it more difficult during the urban setup, but it doesn't really matter. And obviously we've got to get these reflector plates out, and they were covered with this protective plastic that is actually very important, because you have to keep the surface as shiny as possible so that you get the best reflective ratings. You can see they're basically mirrors. I couldn't tell if this is aluminum or stainless steel, but it is highly polished, very, very light. The entire thing, you'll see me pick it up here in a little while, it's very, very light. This was probably the hardest part of the entire unpackaging, because it's just very difficult to get a hold of the edges of these things. They were so well protected. And you can see I'm just fighting. It wasn't really a fight, just getting a hold of the edges. And there's nothing wrong with it. I think it's great. Put in a little bit of extra work to get that protective sheeting off of it, and that means that it's going to be even better when you get done with it. It's going to be super shiny, super reflective, and that means more heat. Reading the website, this thing gets up to somewhere between 300 and 400 degrees, but we will see what happens when I use it indoors. All right, so, and then right here I'm playing with all of the little connectors and the glass, and I'm putting in the little gravity tray that's inside that keeps your food level when you change the angle on this. And then I had to run off and get a screwdriver because the locks for the glass were on just a little too tight, so I loosened them up and played with them. That way I'd be able to close them and open them with my hands. But this was mini. This was nothing, and absolutely essential. As you can see, the whole thing, you pick it up, you can carry it around, that's it. It's super duper light. And then this is the actual retractable leg. You push the pin in, you hold it down, and then it's just like magic. Yeah, all that space. And then we're done. So I just got it set up, got it in the main window, There's Main Street. The idea is this is like an urban test. And then, whoa, camera down. I got it all set up. The temperature's already starting to go up. I'm pretty sure there's a screw kit I'm missing that where that might need to get locked down. I don't know. I got to check, watch a few videos. I'm literally just doing this from the go. The idea is that this thing works right out of the box. I'm a true believer that it does. And we're going to find out, because there's got to be a way to make this work in a winter urban environment. So today's a nice sunny day. The temperature is slowly going up. I've just closed it, and we'll see, check back later and see what it's doing. Ooh, that's bright. Okay, I'm going to check it. It's been about an hour, and current temperature, it's so bright I can barely read it. Looks like 300, edging just over 300 degrees. Just keeping this thing in line. We got good sun through the window. This thing is working as advertised. We're going to keep going, and then we're probably going to start cooking something at some point. It is now 3 o'clock, and checking the temperature. It's winter, so I'm going to have to get to this puppy before 3 o'clock. The temperature is down to 150, but that's still pretty awesome for having the cloud cover the way it is. And it's not even in direct sunlight right now. The sun is technically not even hitting this thing. It's just enough heat is still generated inside of it. So I think that we're going to go ahead and conclude the test for today. Okay, it's morning time, and getting ready to start preheating the oven. We're going to have lots of sunlight, no problem, and it's going to be a great day. The sky is completely clear. It's like 39 degrees outside right now, but as soon as that sun hits that, I'll be able to actually use the tool right here to align it. And I'm going to go and get the food ready to put in the oven. So we're kind of in the preheat cycle. We've already got some temperature starting to build, and I haven't even closed this thing up yet. I need to close this to retain the heat inside. It's hard to do with just one hand. Ah, come here, you. So now we began that preheat cycle, and we're going to make us some supper. Good morning. We're going to make us some supper. Doesn't that sound silly? And the building is empty, guys. So this is what you could do in industrial or a urban environment if you had to use this thing. So let's go ahead and break away, and we're going to go set the food up. All right, guys, welcome to my tiny kitchen, and this is how it's going to go down. So I'm going to be using this steamer. Picked it up at Walmart for like 12 bucks. I will not need that. I'm going to be using this because this actually fits in the oven, and I can layer it and make it all fit. We'll cap it off, and we'll put that in there. So for now, we'll leave this here. The spices I'll be using bay leaves, garlic salt, oregano leaves, and rosemary leaves. Not a lot of that, but it's just enough. Let's see. We're going to chop it up right here. We're going to put some potatoes in it. I bought the pre-chopped stuff because it's just smarter. This will be the chunk of meat that we're going to use right here. Gotta love the prices these days, but that's really not that bad for this big old marble piece of meat. And then we're going to put some beef broth up underneath it, and then we're going to throw it in the solar oven. And don't forget the oven. We'll chop this up. All right, so I guess we'll get to that. So the potatoes, I wasn't going to have you watch me peel these potatoes for 20 minutes. Right now, I'm just in the process. I've already got them magically peeled for you, and we're going to go ahead and chop all those guys up. I didn't really, if you are, don't expect it to be able to cook for very long, then you probably want to cut your potatoes much thinner. I just kind of almost cube them almost. But some of them I made smaller than the others. Just in case this thing doesn't cook right, we can just eat the stuff that is cooked, and then we can reheat later, because this is going to be a lot of food for just 2 people. Preparation is the key. And there, I'm done with the potatoes. Now we're going to put 1 entire onion in there. The girlfriend loves onions, so I just did a big dice on these and mix them up, so a little bit of color. And then we're going to do with the carrots. She loves the carrots. I'm not a fan, but these are already pre-cut, so I just threw enough in there to make her happy. And then we're going to go ahead and start working with the meat here. And this is a really pretty good cut of meat. And I'm going to spice it up with a little bit of salt to start with. Then we're going to start making our it's basically a rub. You use all the different seasonings that you like for your roast. And I'm really messy when it comes to doing these rubs. I normally like to do them outside or in a place where I can clean them up easier, but that was not the case. So get that all mixed up on there, and then you just kind of rub it into the meat. Now the problem I had was like moving it around. I was really making it. You can see I made a huge mess there, but I saved and salvaged as much of it as I could. And then all we have to do now is we're just going to do a little bit of very light cleanup here. just to do it. That's right. That's my motor machine there in the background. And then we're going to take the beef broth and put some down in the bottom, just so we can create enough moisture in there, kind of mix in with those potatoes, and that's it. All right, guys, I got you on the tripod now because I got to use both of my hands. So the temperature is already up to almost 200 degrees, and I'm going to use this little diode here. I'll take a picture of it here in a second. I'll stick a picture of it someplace in the screen so you can see what it looks like. But basically use this. This is your sun, your reticle to aim the sun, and you'll see the picture here in a second. But we'll open this up. We're going to put the food in it, and then we're going to talk a little bit about the oven itself. The glass is kind of cool to the touch, but I can feel heat coming off of it. It's kind of weird. This is a special glass. It's I'm trying to remember what the owner told me. It's like it's either got iron in it or it doesn't have iron in it, but it's a very special glass. So we're going to do that. We're going to try not to lose as much heat as possible. Pop this in here. Pop this on this little thing that keeps the gravity, uses gravity to keep it straight for us. Straighten that out. Put that back in. We're going to get this down here again. This thing is like all gallery. All right, so as you can see, there's our roast ready to go. There's our temperature right there. We've got it locked in. Now see that? Can you see that right there, guys? That's the sun coming through this hole. If I adjust this so that hopefully you can see that, so that circle is underneath that little circle down there, then it's on point. So we're aligned. I've just got to change the elevation in the back, and we'll do that. And unfortunately, where I am in the world, the elevation's a real pain in the butt. So I've already got this kind of pre-adjusted. Yeah, come here, camera. And then we'll do that. And what I'm doing is I'm using the things I have available to me in this case, because we're not outdoors, we're indoors. I could have used anything, but I found these old air vents. So I would use these. I could push it further down, but I don't want to. I just want to use what I can, because I'm going to keep adjusting this. Let me see with that. The hole is still not where I need it to be, so we're going to throw another one under there, like that. All right, it's better. I'm not going any further, but I want you guys to see what I'm seeing. So if you can look down there, let me see, where's it at? Should be able to see where that circle is almost on that circle. If I go any further based on where I am, this thing might tip over, but as you can see, that won't. I just don't want the whole device to tip over. So the sun's going to change its angle throughout the day, and I'll be checking this thing probably once an hour just to make sure that we have good sunlight. All right, so I'll see you guys in about an hour. Okay, so it's been about an hour up here checking. We're going to check the oven temperature, and there it is. Hopefully you guys, I'm doing everything. There's so much glare. I can't see a lot of stuff. So we're looking at 260 degrees. And looks like the meat is actually starting to brown. That's pretty cool. Okay, I'm gonna back off of that. We're gonna adjust now you can actually see, man, I hope you guys, okay, you see the half moon there, how it's not quite on that thing right there. That thing right there. I gotta move my finger so you can see it. That's the alignment method or tool. I'm gonna adjust that, and then we're gonna I'm gonna set it up and come back in a couple hours and readjust it. But I don't think we're going to do any video of that, but we'll see what happens. All right, my friends, the time has come to open this oven up and eat this food. The sun has gone down, and it's still 150 degrees inside there. That is absolutely amazing looking. I'm going to pop the top off this real quick so you can get a good look at it. Oh my God. We're going to take that up to the kitchen and serve it up. Okay, so we got this sucker out. It's still very hot. Oh my God, look at that. Just move the camera right over there and take a look at it. Oh boy. All right, let's get this sucker set back up. Right there. And we're going to get the meat out. It feels like it's just trying to fall apart. Yep, it's just falling apart. And there we go. Let's see what we're looking at there. There's our perfect roast from the Sun Oven. And our potatoes and carrots. Now we'll just get it on a plate. I don't even think we'll need this knife, but I'm going to do it anyway, just so we can keep control of this. Yeah, the knife just goes right through it. Get this over on the plate. Get a little bit more. Oh yeah, this is unbelievably well cooked. There we go. Now we need some of the potatoes and vegetables. And there we go. Time to feed the girlfriend. Oh, you're still here. Well, since you are, I want to tell you about PrepStock 2024. It's a year out from now. I will leave a link down below. You guys can figure it out. Right now, the website's really basic, but yeah, it's going to be good stuff, guys. It's going to be good stuff. Check it out.